When we're thinking about what to look at in someone suffering with bipolar disorder, we look at a few different variables: neurochemical, genetic, environmental, and psychological factors. Let's dive in a little bit in the genetics. Now, I want you to know that this is just a toe in. This is not a comprehensive assessment of a genetic analysis for bipolar disorder, but I did pull out a few examples that are high yield that I think would be good for you to know. Two examples let's start with: the DAT1 gene and the TPH2 gene. The DAT1 gene is responsible for dopamine transport. Dopamine is a monoamine, or a neurotransmitter, that's important for mood regulation. If your dopamine is out of balance, it can cause a myriad of symptoms, which we'll talk about. The DAT gene, if it has a mutation where it's longer than normal, it can cause symptoms of bipolar disorder and ADD or ADHD. The DAT1 gene's job is to make proteins that are involved in transport of dopamine. And so if those are particularly active in the prefrontal cortex of the brain and the basal ganglia, it can cause a buildup of dopamine transporters, and then more and more that dopamine is getting transported out, so that we don't have enough dopamine that's available to bind, and so we have symptoms of dopamine deficiency in bipolar disorder as a result of this DAT1 mutation. All of this results in symptoms that we commonly see in bipolar and ADHD: reduced motivation in the reward center for the brain, learning, planning, remembering, and focusing. A test that I like to recommend is called a dopamine beta hydroxylate test.